What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You guys joined me for an amazing video here today. So in front of me I have the brand new 2024 GMC Hummer EV SUV, and I just want to give a huge thank you and shout out to Leesburg GMC Buick and Hummer here in the Washington DC area. If you guys are interested in this car, it is for sale, as well as the tons of others that they have in their inventory here. I'll go ahead and link all of their contact information in the description box below. But in this video, I just want to give you a full tour and review of this beautiful Hummer EV SUV. This is my first time actually getting the opportunity to check one of these out, and I'm very excited to do so. So as you guys probably know, this is the brand new GMC Hummer EV SUV. It actually follows the GMC Hummer EV pickup truck that came before it, and it rides on the GM Ultium platform, so it underpins a lot of the electric offerings from General Motors, such as the GMC Sierra EV, the Chevy Silverado EV, and a couple others like that. And this thing is just so imposing in person. You can see the massive off-road tires, carries a lot of traditional Hummer styling elements that I really like. You can see Hummer is spelled out in the grille here. It looks really cool. Like I said, a lot of traditional Hummer features are kind of modernized and carried over into this car. The headlights have a bit of an H right there in the actual bulb pattern. If we go ahead and unlock the car, you can see the turn signals do a really nice motion right there. And this is actually a light bar, which I'll go ahead and show you guys in a little bit. You can see this thing is built for off-roading. Obviously, you have some massive recovery hooks right here that feel like they can actually pull out pretty much anything. And underneath the car, or truck I should say, you can see the massive heavy-duty skid plate as well. I went ahead and flipped on the light bar to show you guys what it looks like as it's a little bit darker outside now. And as you can see, this thing looks absolutely amazing. Like I said, the Hummer is kind of backlit right there. It's a little bit tough to see with the camera focus, but it looks incredible. You can see the kind of 3 lights at the top there to signify that this is a pretty heavy-duty truck. Another cool little Easter egg on this light bar in the front here is it actually serves as a progress indicator for when this thing is charging. It actually moves from kind of left to right with green kind of dots, if you will, to show how full or depleted this thing is. But I'll go ahead and show you guys the front kind of storage compartment up here. There's actually a hidden button under there that you can use to go ahead and pop it up. It's going to wait a second, obviously, to make sure everything is clear, and it'll fully motorize its way up. So while we're under the hood, if you will, of the GMC Hummer EV SUV, let's go ahead and talk about some of the performance data on this particular model. So this is the tri-motor version, so it has 2 electric motors in the rear, 1 in the front. Combined, they make 830 horsepower and I think 1,200 foot-pounds of torque. It does 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Top speed is limited to 112 miles an hour, I believe. This thing weighs right around 9,000 pounds, and it can tow around 7,500 pounds as well. It also has a 212 kilowatt hour battery pack, so it can do 315 miles of electric range. Nice Hummer EV kind of logo stamped right there. You also have some tie-down hooks right here as well to secure some kind of loose belongings. It's obviously also illuminated right here, and everything is really nicely covered up. You can see the washer bottle right here. Everything just feels really sturdy and well put together, so I'm very impressed with how it looks up here. And obviously, once you're done up here, you can go ahead and close it and use the little hidden kind of touchpad right there, and it'll motorize itself close as well. Continuing along, I believe this example is finished in a Neptune blue matte paint finish. It looks absolutely stunning, especially in person here. You can see the wheels are finished in black as well. This truck also has 8 lugs, which really signifies that this thing is heavy duty. You can see there's a little Hummer EV kind of sticker right there on the wheels as well. These wheels are also wrapped in a 305/70, obviously 18 tire. You can see just a crazy off-road tread pattern right here. I believe this truck also has around 16 inches of ground clearance when it's kind of in its standard setting. Obviously, this truck also has air suspension, so it can raise and lower kind of to conquer kind of all types of terrain out there. You can also see the Hummer EV badge right there, these absolutely enormous side mirrors to hopefully give you a little bit more visibility when you're driving this thing around. You can see the pronounced kind of fender flare in the rear as well, gives it a really nice aggressive look. And this truck is also optioned with the removable roof panels, so you can actually take those out, obviously, and store them in the front trunk to create a bit more of an open-air experience. Back here is the charging port. Obviously, we'll go ahead and open up the door here. It is a manual door, but I think that's good, so it won't break like these motorized doors that all these electric cars have these days. You can see kind of obviously the standard connecting port there. This is obviously for fast charging if you remove that section as well. Continuing along the rear here, you can see these very thin kind of rectangular LED taillights. Obviously, you can see the Hummer EV badging right there. This truck also has a full-size spare tire with a very nice cover on it. It spells out Hummer EV, and this also, I think, is kind of the moon texture pattern. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that's a kind of nice Easter egg design touch. In order to open the tailgate on this truck, there's actually a little button hidden underneath the left tail light right here. Go ahead and press it, and it's actually a swing open tailgate, so you want to make sure when you're parking this thing, you have enough room to open it if you need to access it back back here, but as you can see, ton of space back here. The kind of same moon or lunar pattern on the floor mat right there. There's a little bit of underfloor storage right there. It's a little bit tough to see. So fold down these seats electrically with these buttons as well. And once you're done, obviously, you can go ahead and come back to the little hidden button right there. Press it and it'll close the tailgate like so. Let's go ahead and climb in the rear seat here, and another little design touch right here is an American flag, which looks very, very nice. We'll go ahead and open up the door. And as you can see, there's a fair amount of space back here in the rear seat. As you can see, the materials back here are very nice. You have some aluminum kind of trim right here on the door handles and everything. Everything feels really, really solid. If we go ahead and kind of hoist ourselves up into the rear seat, I'll show you guys that there is quite a bit of room. You can see quite a few inches of leg room between me and the front passenger seat. There's also some climate controls back here. You also have a rear heated seats as well as a USB-A and a USB-C charging outlet. Nice intelligent access key here. The buttons to open the front trunk and the rear tailgate. You also have kind of remote power on, a remote start on this thing as well, obviously. But there's also smart key access. You just press this button on the door. It'll go ahead and lock. And once you're ready to unlock, you can press it again and open the door like so. Looking at the door panel here, obviously same nice materials from the rear seat. There's also a Hummer EV kind of written in the door panel itself here. These are the 12-way, obviously power adjustable driver and passenger seats here. They are heated and ventilated. They also have this very nice kind of Hummer EV metal plate on them. Let's go ahead and hop in this truck. We'll go ahead and hoist ourselves up like we did in the rear seat. And once you're in, you have a very commanding view of the road. You sit really high up in this thing. Obviously no engine or anything to start up. We'll go ahead and just put our foot on the brake and power this thing on with the button. So once you're in, you're greeted by this very nice 3-spoke leather wrap steering wheel here. You can see the Hummer EV logo right there, kind of an aluminum, which feels nice. Hummer EV on the front steering airbag cover as well. You also have Super Cruise on this, which is what you guys probably saw, the blue light for the powering on sequence. This is obviously the sensors to make sure that you're paying attention. Also in front of you is the fully digital 12.3-inch instrument cluster. As you can see, there is a ton of different customization you can go through here. We'll go ahead and just click into display layout with the right side of the steering wheel, these buttons right here. Right now it's in sport. If we go ahead and click one down into off-road, a couple different options will show up. You'll see a G-force meter, a kind of roll, and a pitch angle, which looks really, really good. But if we actually go up into clean here, it'll simplify everything and make it very easy to read. And actually, I want to take a look at this lunar thing to see what the display is for that. And as you can see, yeah, you get more of a vertical kind of charge state as well as a G-force meter as well. I believe this is the 13.9-inch infotainment display here. Obviously, it is a full touchscreen. It has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, everything like that. But the really cool stuff in this display is actually when you go ahead and click into the kind of Hummer menu right here, you can see you get all of the off-road data that you would get in the gauge cluster, probably plus a little bit more. You can see a compass right here. If we go ahead and click into the cameras, you can see a ton of different camera angles for you to choose from when you're off-roading or kind of maneuvering this thing around. As you can see, this is also a tire pressure indicator thing. You can also air down the tires. One other really cool feature of this infotainment is that the graphics and everything are run by kind of the Unreal Gaming processing engine. So if we go down into the drive mode selector right here and just click it one mode over and to the right to kind of go into the menus here, you can see you get a live animation of the truck kind of going through some various terrain, which looks really good. You can cycle through the various menus like so. Obviously, the air suspension is currently raising and lowering kind of as we're going through these menus as well. Below the infotainment display here, you can see there are kind of a row of buttons right here. This is not a touch panel or anything, so you have to use this row of buttons to control the climate. You can see here's the fan speed, as you can see. To kind of go through the heated seats and everything, you click it and you actually have to click another menu. So I kind of just wish this was a full touchscreen display here, so you kind of eliminate some of the redundancy of clicking through various menus, but not too bad once you get the hang of it. Heated steering wheel is this one, I believe. These are for the differential lockers, the traction control and stability control defeat, the parking sensors, as well as obviously the hazard switch. You have some storage under here as well. You can see a wireless charging pad, USB charging plug-ins as well. There's also some cup holders right there under this compartment. Obviously, this is the selector for the one-speed automatic transmission. We'll go ahead and put our foot on the brake and pull it down into drive, obviously, and we're ready to go. If we go ahead and press the selector up like so, you can see it brings up those beautiful cameras that we saw in the off-road menus right there. And if we want to go ahead and put the truck in park, we'll go ahead and press the P button like so. Continuing along here, this is the off-road kind of terrain selector dial. Like I showed you guys a second ago, you have a little bit more storage on top of the center console, but if we go ahead and open it up, you can see massive amount of storage in there as well. You see there's a couple buttons down here, the parking brake, obviously to open the front trunk. I believe this is for the lane keep assist. This is also to drop all 4 windows at once, which is really nice and a convenient feature. And if we continue along here, I believe this is the trailer brake setting right there. You can adjust with that dial as well. I will say that this interior does feel very nice and well put together. There's a lot of great tech features with the off-road modes and everything like I showed you guys. There's also a camera, rear view mirror right there to kind of help with some visibility. Some of the plastics obviously aren't the best, but this is an off-road truck, so I'm not expecting kind of leather absolutely everywhere, and I think for its purpose, it is just fine. You can see there's a lot of storage underneath the kind of floating center console. With that being said, guys, that concludes the quick tour of the interior of the Hummer EV. We'll go ahead and power this thing down and conclude the video. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick look at the beautiful 2024 GMC Hummer EV SUV. Like I said, a huge thank you again to Leesburg Buick, Hummer, and GMC for allowing me to review this truck. If you guys are interested in this truck, like I said, it is for sale, and everything to contact them will be in the description box below. But if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for a ton of cool content coming very soon. And I'll catch you in the next one.